So many e-commerce brands struggle to create hooks that grab attention. Don't let a bad hook hold your performance back in 2025. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my top 10 hooks that have boosted engagement and conversions across multiple D2C brands and giving you every single step that you need to follow to replicate that success. Hello, my name is Fraser. Welcome to the channel. I run an agency called Fraggle, where we've helped over 30 D2C brands with ad creative, and our ads have spent over 300 million in ad spend. So let's dive in and have a look at these hooks. So the first one is probably the most popular one that you see all the time, and it's the eye-catching visual. So this first ad is from one of our clients, Wave AI. The idea was we wanted some visuals to replicate the idea of your brain constantly forgetting things in meetings. So what's the saying? Your brain's like a sieve. So we show red liquid flowing through a sieve. The visual is really short. We combine it with some captions, and this has over 50% hook rate in the account right now. The reason for that is because you want to pick visuals that people don't often see. If you're scrolling through your feed, you see someone's face, you see someone holding a product, and then you see a sieve with red liquid running through it, chances are you're gonna stop and watch. And that's what the eye-catching visual hook is all about. The way that we normally do it is come up with a hook line and then find some kind of visual to enhance that audio hook. Number two is a skit. I'm sure that you've seen these all the time. They're super popular on organic TikTok, but essentially you get your UGC creator to play two parts, but them being themselves. Do you understand? This is normally much more than a hook and can actually end up wrapping the entire concept up in it. So the idea of this hook that we made for Aloha was that most protein bars taste like cardboard. So we literally got the creator to take a bite out of some cardboard. This actually ended up inspiring the entire concept, and the whole concept is just a skit format. So not only can this just be a hook, but this can also be an entire ad in itself. The reason why this works is it's normally pretty funny. People take themselves very serious online, and so it's much easier if you can make someone laugh, you can entertain someone to keep them around for longer. So number three is a reaction hook. The idea of this is to get your UGC creator to react to something for the first time. The reason this grabs people's attention is because they want to see what the reaction's like. People watch reaction content on YouTube all the time because it's just fun seeing how someone else reacts to something. Especially if it's something that maybe you're not quite sure about, or you want to try, like this one that we did for Hydrolease. This is a hydrogen water. It's controversial. A lot of people want to know whether it's actually real, and so people will stick around to see what the creator's reaction is. Again, it's a great way to hook in the viewer, but also to hold them for the rest of the video. Number four is personally one of my favorites, and it's the Ring doorbell. I'm sure you've all seen the hilarious videos of random things happening and captured on people's Ring doorbells. They're often on TikTok or on YouTube, Instagram. And so we took that idea that people stop and watch these Ring doorbell comedy videos, and we put it into a hook. So in this one that we made for Govee, we actually didn't put any of the Ring doorbell UI over it. We literally just put a fisheye effect on it, and she's just approaching the house like she's saying, "Hey kids, let me in. I've got this amazing, cool light to use." But then we also have this one from Betweener where we actually added the Ring doorbell UI, so it looked much more like an actual Ring doorbell footage. The reason this works is because we're just using habits that people have on the internet, i.e. they'll watch a funny Ring doorbell video to grab people's attention. Number five is price anchoring. If you don't know what this is a psychology principle that essentially you will compare the price to the most expensive of something. You often see this where people give you the price for something per day instead of per month, normally because the monthly price may be 50 quid and the per day price is much cheaper, so it gives you the idea that you're not spending as much money. And so using that principle, we often compare the price of a product to something that people regularly buy. In this case, a Starbucks coffee. Everyone knows the price of a Starbucks coffee. It's normally $5 to $10. And so what we're advertising, we know is much cheaper than that. And so we compare the two to get people and hook them in, thinking that they can solve their problem for cheaper than a Starbucks coffee. This kind of hook goes a little bit deeper than just the surface level. We're just doing something crazy to attract people's attention. It's more playing on how people's brains work and sales psychology. Number six is probably my favorite, and that is to call out your demographic. A lot of the time, people struggle to target their ads. No longer in Facebook Ad Manager can we go in and type, I want to target 18 to 15-year-olds who earn this much money and use an iPhone. You can't do that anymore. But instead, if you make your creative speak to the customer and you call them out in your hook, the chances are Facebook will push it to those people. So in this video that we made for Aloha, we say, if I'm traveling, I pack blah. So we're not directly saying, oh, hey, travelers, watch this video, but we're saying, when I travel, I pack this. So you're calling out the demographic and something that they might do quite often in the hopes that that'll interest them and they'll carry on watching the video. This is great if you don't have some kind of shot and you just want someone speaking to camera. It's a great way to capture attention quickly. A lot of people's products are centered around a new way of doing something, and that is exactly what Hook 7 is all about. We want to capture people's attention by showing them the old way of doing something, i.e. the thing that you're doing every single day. In this case, it's going through the supermarket and picking from one of the hundreds of skincare products. We want to show them how archaic and horrible that old way is and how simple the new way is, i.e. using your product. This is a fantastic way to hook in your customer because they relate straight away. They understand how difficult it is to go through the shelves and find a skincare that might actually work for them. And so you're attracting them by something that they relate to, which is a situation, i.e. the old way of doing something, and you're presenting a better way of doing it. You're making them curious. Again, a little bit deeper than what usually you would think of as a good hook, some crazy visual. Instead, we're playing on what people's minds are doing, how their brains are thinking when it comes to purchasing a product. The next hook plays on a principle that we're all probably pretty familiar with, and that is split screen. How many times have you been watching TikTok and a video comes up of someone talking and then at the bottom of the screen there's a clip from Subway Surfers or a satisfying Minecraft jump puzzle? You see them all the time, and the reason that you see them all the time is because it's a great way to hold people's attention. You're listening to what they're saying, but you're watching something which is holding your attention. The mind is pretty crazy and it can focus on multiple things at once, and this is a great way if you have a long ad to capture people's attention. However, if you want to use split screen as a hook, then we want to show something really eye-catching at the top of the screen and then potentially the UGC creator talking at the bottom. We're just using that idea that people are used to seeing videos that they're interested in split screen format. We're using that to hook in the customer. In fact, if your ad is really boring and you know it, just slap it above some Subway Surfers footage. Happy days. Number 9 is incredibly popular in both static and in video, and that is the post-it note. We all know it, a sticky piece of paper that you put a note on. Everyone knows what they look like, and they often come in pretty crazy colors. And so we're using that principle of color blocking to stop the scroll with a post-it note. But then we're also writing our copy on the post-it note because people stop and read things that are handwritten. I don't know why it is. People just do. And so for this example, instead of just putting the copy on the screen, we wrote the copy on a post-it note, put it on a plate, and then we poured sugar on it. So there we're combining two different principles, the satisfying, eye-catching visual that we spoke about earlier with the post-it note visual, combining them for the ultimate hook. We often use these in statics as well. You could literally take a photo of your product, slap on a post-it note, take a photo, run it as an ad, and they normally work pretty well. It's a mixture of the really eye-catching color and the handwritten text that come together to stop people and grab them. Now, hook number 10 has created some of the biggest winners across our clients, and that is the hands up. I've never seen anyone use this. This is an exclusive, and essentially what you do is you call out your customer, you say, who wants a protein bar that tastes great? The creator puts up their hand, combine it with captions above, and people just love it. I don't know why. There is no explanation that I can think about of why this works so well, but it just does. But the most important thing here is it helps people almost self-qualify themselves. It's often really hard to get your ads in front of the right people, and so we do all kinds of tricks in our creative to make sure that that happens, because the more qualified the person is, the cheaper the click is. And so by us saying, you know, hey, who here loves going to the gym? You self-qualify yourself by putting up your hand. And that's exactly what they do inside the creative, inside the hook, and it works. And there we go, done my top 10 hooks that you can now go and replicate yourself. You know the best hooks for your TikTok and your Facebook ads, but making good creative can actually go a lot deeper than just your hook. Often we work with brands that have a real problem. It's not just about grabbing attention, it's about the actual creative strategy that goes into the creative that then sells people their product. And a lot of brands struggle to even know where to start, or they've been doing it for ages, they've had a lot of problems, they can never get ads to scale, and so they're a little bit stuck. If that sounds like you and you're serious on scaling your e-commerce brand to 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures and beyond, then we probably need to have a conversation. You can click the link below to book a quick call with me and we can go through your brand, we can look through your ad account and we can see how we can help you. Or if you're not quite ready for that, I totally understand. You can watch this other video that I've made on how to create converting static ads. I'll see you in the next one.